Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to AM News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times, channel 276. And now the news in details. The Nigerian Immigration Service has alerted passport applicants and members of the public to expect temporary disruptions on the passport digital platform as it begins scheduled system maintenance. According to a public notice shared on its X handle on Friday and signed by the Service Public Relations Officer Assistant Comptroller of Immigration, Akinlabi, the maintenance will run from December 12 to December 14, 2025. The agency said the exercise is designed to optimize system efficiency and enhance user experience. The federal government says it is intensifying bold reforms to ensure that no Nigerian is denied health care due to cost, distance, or lack of services. This renewed assurance came from the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Pate, as Nigerian joined the global community to mark Universal Health Coverage 2025. Zahra Nasir has details.
At the ministerial press briefing in Abuja, stakeholders across the health sector, national agencies, international partners, and development organizations converged to assess Nigeria's performance and future priorities on the long road to universal health care. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Fati, noted that while countries around the world still struggle to guarantee equitable access, Nigeria is responding with coordinated system reforms aimed at strengthening primary health care, improving insurance coverage, and expanding essential services. He highlighted findings from the 2025 Citizens Perception Survey, which indicate a growing public confidence in the Nigerian health sector, an improvement he attributes to ongoing reforms. The minister urged all actors to intensify efforts to deliver quality, affordable health care.
In 2025 Citizens Survey, the confidence that this government considers public opinion in health system decisions increased from 42% to 47% between the 2 years. The trajectory of the health system, more than 55% endorse the trajectory of the health system. It tells you that yes, we're making progress and there's a lot more to go. If Nigerians don't have confidence in it, then that's what, because we're seeing signal that our citizens are endorsing the direction, we feel even more confident. And the confidence in the government's capacity to effectively manage health emergencies also improved.
The World Health Organization's representative, Dr. Faibal Orsu, emphasized the urgent need for stronger financial protection mechanisms to shield vulnerable groups, especially low-income households and people with chronic diseases, from catastrophic out-of-pocket payments.
We are calling the governments, local authorities, state authorities, communities, private sector to invest in health, to really allocate more resources, prepaid resources for health services as a measure to address the out-of-pocket spending. The evidence is saying that more resources are allocated through domestic channels to health.
This year's Universal Health Coverage Day is themed on affordable health costs. We are sick, a call to action for countries to remove financial barriers and promote accessible, people-centered health systems. As Nigeria renews its pledge to rebuild a healthier, more resilient nation, stakeholders see the real test lies in sustaining reforms that guarantee not just access but equity, quality, and protection for all. Zahra Nasir, reporting for Global TV News.
In an effort to bridge the digital between urban and rural communities in Nigeria, the Center for Information Technology and Development has successfully trained 16 youth under the Nigerian School of Community Networks. Global Television's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports.
It all began in 2021 when CTAD launched the Nigerian School of Community Networks, an initiative aimed at strengthening digital access, promoting community-based networking and advancing digital rights, especially in underserved rural parts of Nigeria.
The purpose for the school is to produce people who would have skill and knowledge to be able to design and deploy community network infrastructure in their communities. So the areas where there are no connectivity, as we know there are many places that are lacking connectivity, they can deploy community network structure.
5 years later, the initiative has produced a new batch of graduates, 16 youth, trained and equipped with vital skills in digital networking, with the aim of boosting connectivity and local digital participation in their respective communities.
We deliberately brought these students together, first to equip them with the basic skills that, one, they need to have community engagement until and unless the community realizes that they deserve maybe a local solution to bridge this connectivity gap. And this can only happen when the community makes some certain contribution.
According to CTAD, while Nigeria holds a vast digital and economic potential, lack of youth empowerment, particularly in rural areas, has widened the digital gap. The School of Community Networks is one of the CTAD's responses to this challenge.
In the rural areas, most importantly, as the School of Community Network is driving towards contributing towards improving, reducing the digital divide between the rural and urban areas. We're all aware that now at least all transactions, even the Kikina PEF and whoever is involved in buying or selling, almost everyone that you look around, you see that he use one way or the other, OP, Monopoint, Momo. It's just give me your number, give me your identity.
CTAD believes that with the training such as this, communities, once cut off from the digital world, will begin to reap the benefits of connectivity, especially in education, communication, and local economic growth. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
The Senate has launched an investigation into what it described as uneven enforcement of President Bola Tinubu's directive ordering the withdrawal of police personnel from VIPs. Raising the matter on the Order 9, Senator Abdul Ningi of Bauchi Central raised concerns on the Senate floor over the withdrawal of his only police orderly. Topsy Gimba has more.
Senator Ningi questioned why many political office holders still have police protection while his security was removed, calling for fairness and uniform application of the directive from the President and Vice President to ministers and others. Senator Ningi also noted that some ministers, business persons, and entertainers continue to receive police protection despite the security withdrawal order. He urged the leadership of the Senate to direct the Police Affairs Committee to investigate this selective enforcement, warning that the National Assembly should not be singled out.
I cannot ever imagine that a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who has been here for a very long time, only one orderly, and he is withdrawn, and nothing will happen. Like I said earlier, Mr. President, I have no problem, but let it be done across the board.
Deputy President of the Senate, Jibril Barau, acknowledged the concerns, confirming that the Police Affairs Committee will look into the reports. Senator Barau explained the withdrawal aims to boost police efforts against Nigeria's security challenges and assured that the Senate remains committed to protecting its members.
The police orderlies that were withdrawn from the senators is of concern to us, and I will raise the issue, and we're dealing with that, in the formal line. The chairman of the Police Affairs Committee should take up this matter, conduct a proper investigation, and let us know why is the directive of Mr. President being flouted. Mr. President gave that order in order to strengthen our police force to deal with our internal security problems, and it was done in good faith.
He expressed hope President Tinubu will reconsider and restore Senate Ningi's police orderly and praised the President's efforts to improve national security with the Senate's full support. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
A former Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngigi, was arraigned before a high court in Abuja, sitting in Gwarimpa, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over alleged 2.2 billion contract fraud. Justice Mariam Hassan ordered that the former minister be remanded at the Kuje Correctional Center pending the hearing of his bail application fixed for Monday, December 15, 2025. Ngigi pleaded not guilty to 8 counts bordering an abuse of office and acceptance of gift from contractors of the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund while he served as its supervising minister between September 2015 and May 2023. The leadership crisis within the People's Democratic Party has entered a new phase as the factional National Working Committee chaired by Tanimu Turaki convened a high-profile meeting in Abuja with national ex-official members, National Assembly members, and other party stakeholders. The engagements are aimed at stabilizing the opposition party structure ahead of 2027 general election. Our political correspondent, Ubong Usoro, reports.
The Turaki-led PDP National Working Committee held a strategic meeting with a broad cross-section of party leaders, including ex-official members, National Working Committee members, and the National Assembly caucus, to discuss the way forward for the opposition party. The gathering comes amid deepening internal disagreement over party leadership following last month's controversial national convention in Ibadan, which produced Turaki and other NWC members for a 4-year tenure. Turaki described the consultations as crucial to strengthening party's cohesion and preparing for electoral competition in 2027.
We are going to take this party back to the people. So if we are going to take this party back to the owners, who are Nigerian people.
Speaking to key stakeholders, Turaki reiterated that the series of engagements, which include discussion with state chairman and party ex-official members, affirmed the legitimacy and acceptance of his leadership.
At any point in time, you will be in a position in your own right to represent this party and to tell anybody who may need to know what the party is doing, what actually we are doing.
The Turaki-led NWC has continued to reinforce its position. In a recent development, the party issued formal certificates of expulsion to several key figures, including Nyesom Wike, Ayodele Fayose, and Samuel Anyanwu, over alleged anti-party activities, signaling a hardline stance from the incumbent leadership. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
United States Governor Muhammad Umar Bago has called for a single term for elective and political appointees, saying it will eliminate laziness among politicians. Bago made the call during the inauguration of newly nominated commissioners and elected chairmen and vice chairpersons of local government areas. He pointed out that he would have sacked some of the appointees, but he had to defer the action to his second term in office, stressing that he would have been more decisive. The House of Representatives is raising the alarm over soaring domestic airfares, warning that millions of Nigerians may struggle to travel home this Christmas. Lawmakers say the sudden spike in exploitative and threatens the nation's long-standing culture of festive reunion. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick reports.
Thursday's plenary session in the House of Representatives turned emotional as lawmakers condemned what's to describe as an outrageous surge in domestic airfares. They say traveling by air has become prohibitively expensive, shutting out families hoping to reunite for Christmas. Obinna Agocha, who moved the motion of urgent national importance, urged the federal government to work with airlines operators to temporarily reduce fares during the festive season.
To establish a transparent assessment mechanism to create a system to determine the true minimum necessary operational cost for airlines throughout the Christmas season.
Members blamed the rising demand for flights on the poor state of highways and worsening insecurity, which makes road travel unsafe for many Nigerians.
Talking about palliative will be pampering the problem rather than solving the problem. We need to provide more means for air transport for Nigerians.
While some lawmakers accuse airlines of exploiting travelers, others highlighted deeper industry issues from heavy government levies to the high cost of aircraft parts and the impacts of Harmattan weather on operations.
This has been an issue even at the level of Nigerians, but there is a particular issue the operators are talking about that I want to include in the prayers. They talk about various levies. They even said about 70% of all constitutes airfare is as a result of levies by the aviation or in the aviation industry.
Following the heated debate, the House resolved to establish a transparent mechanism for assessing airline operational costs during the Christmas period. They also called for a 50% reduction in aviation taxes and for the central bank to prioritize foreign exchange for airline operators at reasonable rates. The House Committee on Aviation has been directed to interface with the industry and report back within 7 days. From the National Assembly, Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
Every week, in every corner of the world, millions of Muslims gather for one reason, Jumu'ah, the Friday prayer that is more than a ritual. It's a moment of unity, reflection, and spiritual renewal. But what makes Friday so important in Islam? Our correspondent tells us more.
Friday is not just the end of a work week. In Islam, it is the most blessed day. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The best day on which the sun has risen is Friday." On this day, Muslims are reminded to pause their worldly pursuits and reconnect with their Creator. Jumu'ah replaces the regular Dhuhr prayer and comes with unique blessings that no other prayer carries. It is an obligation for every adult Muslim man and also a weekly reminder to faith, brotherhood, and moral responsibilities. But beyond obligation, there are deeper meanings.
In Islam, all the prayers are equal because in every day we have 5 daily prayers. So Jumu'ah stand on the position of prayer number 1 on the day.
In Jumu'ah, all Muslims stand side by side, rich and poor, old and young, leaders and laborers, no rank, no barriers, just believers worshiping their Lord together. It strengthens community ties and reminds us that in the eyes of God, we are all equal.
That is Zuhr prayer. So it is very, very important. You cannot differentiate. But the attendance of the special Jumu'ah at mosque is very, very significant.
The Friday sermon is a powerful moment. It educates, it warns, it uplifts. It guides people through both spiritual and social issues, from morality to justice, from charity to family life. The khutbah is not just a speech. It is a weekly lesson for the soul.
Khutbah is one of the requirements of the Jumu'ah prayer. So it is very, very important. In fact, it is the khutbah that will address the entire congregation to tell them what to do.
Qualities the modern world desperately needs. Beyond spiritual rewards, Jumu'ah strengthens society, it boosts charity, encourages kindness, builds relationship, and resolves community disputes. For many, it is one time each week they meet their neighbors, elders, and friends. The Friday prayer is more than a ritual. It is a weekly gift, a source of peace, a reminder of purpose, and a doorway to divine mercy. So, when Friday arrives, let your footsteps lead you to the mosque. Let your hearts open to the khutbah, and let your soul find rest in the remembrance of Allah. Sadia.
You're watching the live broadcast of AM News. When AM News returns, Super Falcons drop to 37th in FIFA ranking, remains top in Africa. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that short break. And in business news, the Federal Executive Council has approved 3 major public-private partnership projects valued at over 6.43 trillion naira, signaling another significant wave of private sector investment into Nigeria's infrastructural landscape. a project for 2 deep seaports at a 460-megawatt hydropower plant form the second batch of PPP initiative declared by the Council within 1 month, underscoring President Bola Tinubu's push for private capital as a driver of growth under the Renewed Hope agenda. The approval were announced in a statement released by the Director General of the Infrastructure Concession Regulation Commission, Jabson Ewalefo. And on the foreign scene, a new analysis by the World Health Organization has reaffirmed that there is no link between vaccines and autism, contrary to theories being propagated in the United States. WHO's Director General Tedros says this is the fourth such review of the evidence following similar reviews in 2002, 2004, and 2012. Agbonfuegbe completes the reports.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention last month revised its website with language that undermines its previous scientifically grounded position that immunizations do not cause the developmental disorder autism. Years of research demonstrate that there is no causal link between vaccinations and autism or other neurodevelopmental disorders. Yet, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., America's health chief, has long voiced anti-vaccine rhetoric and inaccurate claims connecting the two. However, WHO's Ghebreyesus told a press conference in Geneva that autism is not a side effect of vaccines.
Vaccines are among the most powerful, transformative inventions in the history of humankind. Vaccines save lives from about 30 different diseases, including measles, cervical cancer, malaria, and more. Like all medical products, vaccines can cause side effects, which WHO monitors, but autism is not a side effect of vaccines.
A purported connection between the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine and autism stems from a flawed study published in 1998, which was retracted for including falsified data.
In 1998, a study was published in The Lancet that purported to show a link between vaccines and autism spectrum disorders. The study was later shown to be fraudulent and retracted, but the damage had been done, and the idea has never gone away.
Tedros stated that over the past 25 years, under 5 mortality has plunged by more than half, from 11 million deaths a year to 4.8 million, with vaccination being a major reason behind the drop. Uyi Agbonfuegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
United Nations Right Chief Volker Turk has responded to harsh criticism of Europe from United States President Donald Trump administration, insisting the continent has greatly benefited from promoting and protecting human rights. Trump had criticized Europe as being weak on immigration after his administration's national security strategy warned of so-called civilization erasure, saying the continent's migration policies are creating strict censorship of free speech and suppression of political opposition. Zahrau Nasir reports.
Turk insisted that Europe had achieved huge successes in the rights field, noting that regarding the European component of the U.S. strategy, Europe has benefited precisely from the promotion and protection of human rights.
Our resources have been slashed, along with funding for human rights organizations, including at the grassroots level around the world. We are in survival mode, and I was in Brussels yesterday during a meeting with human rights defenders, and all of them, all the human rights defenders from around the world, told me how dire their situation is.
Turk told a press conference in Geneva that through its courts and convention, Europe established a human rights system that is one of the strongest in the world, calling it an incredible achievement for humanity. Relations between Europe and the United States have become strained on several issues since Trump's return to power in January, from the U.S. rapprochement with Russia to the open support the United States has shown for right parties in Europe. Zahrau Nasr reporting for Global TV News.
And in sports, Marjan Super Falcons dropped on sports in the latest women's ranking released by the Federation of International Football Association, FIFA. Previously ranked 36, the Super Falcons slipped to 37 but remained the top team on the continent. The ranking follows a strong 2025 performance in which the team won the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations, held in Morocco from July 5th to 26th, securing a record extending 10th continental title. Mikel Arteta has said Gabriel Jesus has the qualities to be Arsenal's first choice striker following the return of Brazil international after 11 months on the sidelines. The 28-year-old played his first minute for the club since suffering a knee injury in January, coming on as a substitute in the Gunners' 3-0 win against Club Brugge in the Champions League. Jesus will have to compete with Victor and Kai Havertz, currently sidelined in a knee injury, to be focal point of Arsenal's attack. And that's it on AM News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times, channels 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.